So I was at Home Goods the other day looking at all their Halloween decor, and I saw they had a bunch of cute pillows, a lot of them embroidered, and I thought, why buy it for 20 when I can make it myself for 30? And that's exactly what I did. And I didn't actually pay $30 for supplies. That was just a little joke. So the pillow inserts I got from Joann's for about $5, and then the fabric, this is like $5 of fabric. And the design is from Urban Threads, and it was about $3. Probably cost me $13 in total to make this, which is cheaper than what I saw at Home Goods. Today, I'm going to show you how you can create your own embroidered pillow. Go through the steps I did. And the good thing about these pillows is they are a removable insert, so we can reuse this for different holidays. So when Thanksgiving and Christmas comes around, rather than buy a brand new pillow, all I need to do is make another pillowcase and I can switch it out with different designs. This is probably more of a sewing tutorial than it is machine embroidery. I mean, we are embroidering the design on the fabric, but then we're going to be sewing the pillowcase, and I'll show you how you can easily do that. So let's get started and talk about supplies. So we only need a few supplies here. First, we're going to need a pillow insert, and these can be found at most craft stores. This came in a pack of 2, and it was on sale at Joann's. I was able to get a pack of 2 for about $10, so that comes to $5 each. This is the brand I got, and the size I'm using is 12 by 16. The pillows do come in various sizes. Just be mindful of the design you're wanting to stitch. You're going to want to make sure your pillow is the right size for your design. Then for fabric, I suggest a thick cotton fabric. I'm using duck canvas. This is found in the upholstery or outdoor fabric section at Joann's, and it's relatively cheap. I'm just using black duck canvas since my design is going to be white and gold. And then when measuring our fabric, you're going to want to have a ruler, one of these measuring tapes, or a flat ruler works, and then a piece of chalk or a temporary fabric marker to mark the fabric where we're going to be cutting. And then for the embroidery part, stabilizer, just use whatever stabilizer goes best with your fabric. For me, that is a heavyweight tearaway, and then my hoop. Step 1 is to prepare the fabric, and we're going to stitch out our design first. Then we will sew the pillow pieces together. So the first thing we're going to do is mark the fabric for the front piece of the pillow. We want to cut a piece exactly the same size. So my pillow is 12 by 16 inches. I'm going to mark and measure with my chalk a 12 by 16 inch piece of fabric. And before I go and cut my fabric, I'm just going to take my hoop and place it over to make sure the fabric does fit. So once I cut on these lines, I will have enough fabric to hoop. If for some reason you found that the size of your pillow is smaller than your hoop, then you're going to just want to make sure you're cutting extra fabric so you have enough to hoop. So I'm going to cut this, and then I will give it a quick iron to get these wrinkles out of the way, and then we'll get this hooped up for the machine and stitched out. Okay, so we have our design finished stitching out, and it looks very nice. Now this is our front piece for the pillow. So this pillow will be like this, sitting up, and see, it fits nicely. So now that we have our front panel, next we need to cut and sew the 2 back pieces and then put everything together. So we're gonna have to do some math for these back panel pieces. Take the length, which is 16 inches, divide that by 2 and add 3 inches. 16 inches divided by 2 is 8. And then we're adding 3 inches. So we have the extra fabric that can go over each other. If we were to make it 8 inches, this would be open like this and it wouldn't be covered. So we need 2 pieces, 11 inches across, and then 12 inches tall. With my black fabric here, I will just measure out a 12 by 11 inch square. So there's one square, 11 by 12 inches, and I need 2 of these, so I'm just gonna fold my fabric in half and cut once. So we have our 2 pieces here, and they will be going over the pillow, overlapping, and they'll create that pocket there. Now all that's left to do is sew the pillow together, but before we sew the front and back pieces together, because this is a raw edge, I'm going to fold this over twice and then sew it down. So making sure the fabric is in the right direction. If this is the open piece, you don't want the raw edge showing, so I'm going to fold this twice. This is a pretty thick fabric, so I can just kind of fold it with my finger and it stays. Otherwise, you're going to want to iron it, and we're just going to double fold. And then I'll grab some clips, or you can use pins to hold it down like that. And I'll do the same thing to the other piece, and then I will grab my sewing machine and we will just sew a straight stitch down this hem. So here are our 2 hems that are stitched. So these will be exposed. This is where the pillow opening will be. Now that we have our back pieces, we just need to grab our front piece and we can clip everything together and then get it sewed. So with my front piece here, I'm going to place my 2 back pieces on top of the front piece, right sides together. So looking at our hem here, this is the back of the hem, this is the front. So I'm going to place it down this way. And then grabbing the other hem, lay that on top of it, so these are overlapping. With everything lined up, I'm just going to clip the sides and we'll do a straight stitch. And we're just going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance so that we have a nice tight fit when we put the pillowcase on. Then the last step after we've sewn everything together is just cut the corners a little bit. So when we turn it inside out, the edges are nice and pointy. Now we turn it inside out. So it looks a little messy, but for the end, we just want to push the corners up. Usually doing it with your finger is enough so they stick out. If you can't get it with your finger, you can grab some scissors, not too sharp scissors because we don't want to poke a hole through, and then just kind of poke the point until it looks nice. Okay, so there we go. We have turned our pillow inside out, and all that's left to do is to grab our pillow insert and put it on. It will be a bit of a tight fit. The first part is easy to get in, but for the second half, you're going to want to just squish it in. It might feel like you're breaking the pillow, but it'll stay together. And once the pillow's in there, you just want to flatten it out as best you can so it fits all the corners. And then I found just kind of roughing it up a bit helps everything fall into place. And there we have our finished pillow. You can see everything fits nicely. Even though we didn't include any extra seam allowance, the pillow fits just fine. And on the back, we have our little opening where we can easily remove this and put on a new pillow when we're ready to change designs. And there we have it. So now you know how to make your very own cute embroidered pillows for a lot cheaper and cuter than what you would find at the store. And these 2 designs here, they're not mine. They're actually from urbanthreads.com. So I'll post a link in the description to these 2 specific designs. And thanks for joining today's video. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.